Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining the problem count negative numbers in a sorted matrix. So given an m cross n matrix grid which is sorted in non-increasing order, which means it is sorted in decreasing order both row wise and column wise, return the number of negative numbers in the grid. Okay, so we have grid. So let me copy this example in the board and then let's try to solve it. And we can see the constraint we have both n and m is 100. So even if it's like even if you go through the entire array, so it will be 10 power 4. So it like n square m into n solution is also accepted, but I'll not be solving by that. I'll be solving by approach which is way better than m into n. So let's try to go to the board. Let me take the example first. So we have 4, 3, 2, minus 1. 4, 3, 2, minus 1. Then we have 3, 2, 1, minus 1. 3, 2, 1, minus 1. Then we have 1, 1, minus 1, minus 2. 1, 1, minus 1, minus 2. And then we have minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So yeah, this is the grid. Yeah, let's come back to the board. So this is example again. In the question, what they have said is we have grid whose size is m cross n, right? M cross n. This is grid whose size is m cross n. So m is basically a row of the grid, and n is basically column of the grid. And what they said is this grid is sorted in non-decreasing order. Sorry, non-increasing order. Which means it is sorted in decreasing order, both row wise and column wise. Okay, and they are asking us to find how many negative numbers are there. How many negative numbers are there in the grid? So yeah, like if you try to write 4, 3, 2, minus 1 here, as you can see, this is in decreasing order in a column. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, minus 1. This is in decreasing order. Now we see 1, 1, minus 1, minus 2. I'm just writing, in m cross n minus 2, minus 2. If you see here, all the elements are decreasing order, right? And here also, if you see in a row wise, this is column wise, and this is row wise. See 4, 3, 1, minus 1, decreasing. 3, 2, 1, minus 1, decreasing. Okay. So brute force approach will be O of n cross n. What you can do is you can go through all the elements and check if it is lesser than 0, which means negative. So you can keep count of negative elements, you just print it. So here m and n both are from at max it is like 100, 10 power 2, right? So this will give you 10 power 4, which is way less than 10 power 8. So this will not be taken. But this approach I will not be taking. I'll take into account this sorted thing. Okay. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to move here in the first row. I'll try to move at the first column. It is not 0. I mean not negative. Then I'll move. It is not negative. Then I'll move. It is not negative. Then I'll move. It is negative. So I have found out a position wherein the element is negative. So now what will happen is if you even try to take any index here, since it is a decreasing order, so all the elements will be again lesser than this, so it is again negative. So not move forward. What I'll try to do is how many columns are there now, that I'll try to find. Now here we have just one. And now since it is row wise also decreasing order only, so here also it will be negative elements only. So I will try to find how many columns are there. We have just one column, and how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows are there. So this many negative elements are found. Okay. Now I'll move to the next row. I'll check. And once you have found that, now whenever you're moving to the next row, your now right boundary is this much, because these things have already taken into consideration. Now I'll move to row number 1, which is 0, 2, 3. So I'm moving at this position. This is not negative, this is not negative, this is not negative. Now I'll not move here, because if I move here, I may end up in doing wrong calculation, because for this position, this position already taken care of negative elements. We have got 4 negative elements. So that's why my ending is this. How you do that? In a for loop, whatever you're doing, so your n will be put into j, which is like 0, 1, 2, 3. So your now n is updated to 3. Initially it was 4 because it is n plus n, like 4 elements are in column, so 4, but now it is 3. So we'll be moving from 0 to 3 minus 1, which is 2. Okay, you have not done anything. Now let's move here. When you are moving here, so you have found here the negative element. Okay, now how many rows are the columns are there? You may be telling 1 and 2. No, because this is already taken. So you have just one row, one column. And how many rows? 1 and 2 rows. So you have one column and 2 rows. Okay, so you have got 4 plus 2, 6 negative elements, if you can see, which is 2. Now again, your boundary is now right boundary, column boundary is bounded to this position. When you are moving here, what will happen is, in the first element only you have negative, so the remaining will be negative as I said here, right? Like this is in decreasing order, so if it is negative, negative of that, lesser number of that will be negative. So how many columns? 2 columns are there. But how many rows? You have just 1 row. This is like 2. Okay, you have done this. Now your column will be updated to this position, and you don't have any row, so it's like 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8 negative elements are there. And count 8 are there, right? So in this way we should be solving it. Okay, so let's go to the coding. Let's go to the online editor and try to code it. So I had already solved this, but let me erase this and try to solve one more time. So we have int m as row, int n as column. So in this way we take rows and column. So I'll take negative count, which is initially 0. I'll try to run a loop. Okay. Now I'll try to run a loop again. Okay. Now I'll check if grid of I and j is lesser than 0, which means we have found a negative element. Once you have found a negative element, so how many rows you have? Your rows will be m minus this one. Okay, and your column will be, how many columns you have found now? It will be n minus j, and your negative count will be multiplication of rows into column, as I was telling you. And now, as I said, your column is going to be updated to j, like we have a right boundary. Okay. And one more thing what you can check is if your here you can check is if your n is 0, which means you don't have any no columns left, so you just need to break all of these just to make sure optimization. At the end you will have to return the negative count. Let's try to run it. Yeah, it is getting accepted. Sample test cases. Let's start to submit it. This one you understand, right? Even if you don't, I'll take it. Don't worry. So yeah, this got accepted and beats 100% of the user. So what I'm trying to do is, um, let's say whenever you're doing these things, right? So your n is going to be 0. When n is 0, it means your right boundary is like from 0 only you have to calculate. Okay. From 0, okay. What you can do is you just need to put this here. Yeah. So okay, let me tell you what I'm trying to do actually. So let's say we had again a certain columns, right? Let's say we had -2 here also. Let's take -2, -2, and then -1. So we had, let's say, this thing. When you are in this position, you have calculated this, right? So when you calculate this, you have taken into picture these four things, right? Because it was bounded by 10. Now what will happen is your right boundary will be bounded by here. It means you have to find like negative limits. But it's like we will not find any negative limits. It's like when you have found the negative element at the j column and it is 0. So it's like all the rows are taken care now, right? So that's why when all it is taken care, your j will be increased. I mean your n is set to j, which is like 0. So when it is 0, you just don't need to go to entire other rows and check it, right? So you need to just pray, and it's like you found the answer. So that thing I just wanted to make sure that is taken care. So yeah, it's like you can solve this problem in this way, and which is way faster than going through all the grid elements and try to find the negative elements. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.